All right, folks, we are at the trailhead. We're going to go ahead and start our little trek through the woods, see what's popping here. This time of year, I'm mostly looking for fresh red-belted conch. I'm also going to be looking for turkey tail, and if I see any Oregon reishi out here, I'm going to grab those too. So things are kind of dry. They had a rain event here a few days ago, but by looking around, it wasn't significant. So not sure exactly what's going to be popping. I'm pretty close to the ocean, so this is about as wet of an area as it's going to get. And I'm going to go ahead and see what I can find, folks. All right, well, we didn't get far into the woods, and we found ourselves some red-belted conch here. As you can see, this is a nice, fresh, young button that's come off of here. And you can see this red belted line across here, and then the rest of it is very fresh and beautiful. So this is a supple, nice red-belted conch, and these red-belted conchs are getting a lot of study right now. I think Paul Stamets is doing a bunch of stuff on it. Very good for immune system, antimicrobial, antiviral. So these are great immune modulating mushrooms. So I'm pretty stoked. I haven't been out here but a minute, and I'm already finding some of the stuff I'm looking for. All right, I'll keep checking in, folks. All right, folks, we're on the trail here. We're up on this old dead stump here, and it's a pretty moist pocket here. It looks like this is a hemlock tree here, and so this is probably old hemlock stump. But down here, we have ourselves a nice little bolete. It's got the red stem, yellow porous gills. Well, it's not gills. Underneath the cap is kind of brown with these yellow edges. It's definitely a bolete, but I'll do some more investigation when I get home to find out exactly what it is. Once I cut into it, if it bruises kind of blue, it'll tell us something about it. But this is definitely a nice looking bolete, very fresh, and I'm stoked about it. All right, everyone, we're back on the trail. All right, here we are at this kind of old decaying tree here. And one of the things I've been looking for is this licorice fern here. This licorice fern is it's got a root structure on it. That kind of wraps around in the moss. And now this is very, very good as an anti-inflammatory, respiratory support. Also can help with your tummy if you're not feeling well. This is one that I'm going to be using in one of the medicinal mixtures I'm going to be making. So I'm really happy to see this one. I'll definitely be collecting a lot. As you can see, it runs all the way up and down this whole tree, and the cool thing is it's really easy to harvest because it's just right here. I'll try to pull out and get a decent sized one. So you just kind of follow the root down in the tree, and then as you can see in here, it's kind of hard to do this with just one hand, but throughout this whole thing is this giant root structure that I'll be able to clean up and get out and harvest. And I'll be making a tincture with this. And this little log here is pretty loaded with them, so I'll be able to grab a few. I'll leave a bunch of it, but I'll grab a few and go to the next log and grab a few. It's pretty common here, here at the beach. As you can see, it's kind of flourishing all over this log here. So I'll be able to harvest a bunch of this stuff and get it home and make. All right, here we are. This is one of the ones that kind of pop off in the spring. This is your common oyster mushroom. As you can see, the gills on these are pearly white, very fresh, extra gorgeous looking. This log's pretty covered with them. It's kind of an old decaying log. There's a whole bunch of them out there that obviously I ain't gonna be shimmying up this log to get them. However, there are a bunch of really, really nice looking ones down here lower that were a little more protected. And it looks like I got dinner tonight, folks. Delicious. So what I do with these is I'll kind of get these in a bag and I'll marinate them in a teriyaki overnight. And then I will grill them on the grill. And my God, are they delicious. So yeah, pretty stoked to see this. Found a nice little patch of oyster mushrooms here I'll be collecting. All right. All right, and now here we have a plant. This is not a fungi, but this is horsetail. And horsetail is full of all kinds of good things, one of them being silica. It's antifungal, works really good in a ferment to help prevent powdery mildew, rust, and a lot of those fungal things that can happen to your squishes and squashes. So it also has calcium, manganese, and also a couple other things I already forgot. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pick a bunch of this horsetail. I'll make a nice ferment out of this. And yeah, we got some magnesium. That's the other one. Magnesium, manganese, calcium, phosphorus, and all bunch of good shit up in this horsetail. So I've got a nice little patch here that runs all the way down this ridge. I'll go ahead and harvest all of these. I'll be taking this horsetail home and I will be making a ferment out of it. All right. This is kind of the end of the trail. Heading back down to the car. Had a great run. Found a bunch of oyster mushrooms, some really choice looking red belted conch, and now I found some horsetail. Pretty excited. All right, everyone, this was a great trip. Take care of each other. It's not that hard.